Business Growth Talks podcast is created and hosted by Mark Heyward. In this show, we talk about how to grow a business in the growth stage. The growth stage is often marked by rapid developments, increased revenue, and an escalating customer base. In each episode, we talk to entrepreneurs and business owners who have grown businesses, and we cover topics like scaling processes, market expansion, financial management, human resource and talent development, and customer retention. If you are looking for actionable advice, tips, and techniques on how to grow, run and build your business, this is the podcast for you.
Have you ever wondered how weather, sports events, and even elections can shake up the economy? Discover the surprising ways these non-economic factors drive growth and create challenges in markets in countries like the UK and the US. Stay tuned to uncover the intricate balancing act that keeps our economy ticking. So my name's Mark Heyward. I am from Business Growth Talks. Today we're going to get a little bit geeky, but I want you to stay with me here. There's some important stuff here that I'm going to be talking about. And I think we all need to hear this, especially in the current situation. So the growth and the lack of growth in countries like the UK and the US can be influenced by a variety of external factors that are not directly related to traditional economic indicators. These factors can have significant impacts on consumer behavior, business operations, and overall economic activity. I'm going to be talking through some of these examples. So, severe weather events. So disruption, things like hurricanes, blizzards, floods can disrupt business operations, leading to temporary closures, supply chain interruptions, and infrastructure challenges. Extreme weather can also affect crop yields, leading to higher food prices and impacting the agriculture sector, contributing to GDP. Now, I knew this happened with the weather conditions, especially things like flooding in the UK or hurricanes in the US, but it really does have a massive impact. Even heavy rain, that stops people getting out there and going and buying things in retail stores. So this is seriously a massive thing, and we cannot exaggerate the point about retail and tourism as well as agriculture as well. Major sporting events. So consumer spending, they could be a boost in sales. Major tournaments like the FIFA World Cup or what we've got, the UEFA European Championship, can lead to significant consumer spending on items like sports merchandise, food, beverages, and electronics. So people are going out and buying new TVs. People are buying plenty of beer to watch the England match, as well as buying t-shirts and kit. Pubs, restaurants, and hotels often see increased business during major sporting events due to gathering together and celebrations. There's also a big boost on advertising. Companies often ramp up advertising spends around major sporting events, benefiting from media companies and increasing overall economic activity in the advertising sector. During major matches, though, there can be a noticeable dip in workplace productivity as employees take time off or are distracted by these types of events. Let's talk about non-economic factors. We had it a few years ago. It feels like it's not that long ago. It is now 4 years, but the pandemic is an example of a public health crisis. It had profound economic impacts, causing widespread closures, shifts in consumer behavior, and significant government spending on health economic relief measures. Also, social and cultural shifts. They can influence consumer preferences and business practices, potentially leading to new markets and innovation, but also requiring an adjustment and investment from businesses. So the cost of materials and ingredients are critical factors that can significantly influence economic growth in both the UK and the US. Fluctuations in these costs driven by global supply and demand dynamics, geopolitical events, and natural disasters can have a far-reaching effect on various industries. For instance, a rise in the price of raw materials such as steel, aluminium, and crude oil increases production costs for manufacturers, which can lead to higher prices for consumers and reduced profit margins for businesses. Simply, spikes in the cost of essential ingredients for food industry like grains, sugars, and dairy products can lead to an increased grocery prices, affecting consumer spending patterns and often has inflationary costs. Next point I want to talk about is what government can do. So, government spending on infrastructure, particularly on roads and house building, is a powerful drive for economic growth in both the UK and the US. Investment in road infrastructure enhances connectivity, reduces transport costs, and improves access to markets and employment opportunities, thereby boosting productivity and economic efficiency. Maintain roads facilitate smoother logistics for businesses, reducing delays and operation costs, which can enhance competitiveness and stimulate economic activity. I don't think we've been doing this enough. This is something, house building and infrastructure costs, we should be spending on this. It boosts the economy. It gives people jobs. It is an amazing way to actually get the infrastructure logistics is incredible as well. Something that's happening right now in the US, in the UK, and soon in the US is the impact of a general election. A general election can have significant impacts on the economy, particularly through creating uncertainty and influencing investors and consumer confidence. Leading up to an election, business and markets often adopt a cautious stance, delaying investments and major decisions until the political landscape becomes clearer. Election outcomes can affect economic policies, including taxation, regulation, and government spending, which in turn influence business operations and consumer behavior. A change in government may bring shifts to fiscal and monetary policy, impacting sectors depending on the new administration's priorities. Consequently, elections can lead to short-term market volatility and long-term economic shifts as new policies are implemented that have effects that are unfolded. We've talked about a lot of things here today, but I'm going to give you a conclusion and my view on what the impact is on the economic growth. So it can be influenced in many different ways, encompassing macroeconomic as well as microeconomic dimensions. Weather conditions, major sporting events, non-economic factors like political stability and social movements, the costs of materials and ingredients, and government infrastructure spending collectively shape the economic landscape. Severe weather events and seasonal patterns impact industries ranging from agriculture to retail and construction, while major sporting events can boost consumer spending and business revenues, but also cause temporary dips in productivity. Political change, public health crisis, and social movements influence business confidence and consumer behavior, adding layers of complexity to economic forecasting. On a micro level, fluctuation in costs of materials and ingredients can directly affect production costs, consumer prices, and business profitability. Government's infrastructure spending on roads and house building plays a critical role in stimulating economic activity, improving connectivity, and addressing house shortages, thereby fostering a long-term growth and stability. Balancing these diverse influences is a challenging task for policymakers and businesses alike. The interplay between the different factors creating a dynamic, often unprecedented economic environment. Macroeconomic policies must navigate the broad impacts of global supply and demand shifts, geopolitical events, and large-scale public health issues, while microeconomic decisions need to address the immediate operation costs and local market conditions. This unpredictability of external factors such as weather, political instability, and social trends further complicate the economic management and forecasting. So, all I want to say now is the economy is a very complicated thing to be able to make grow consistently. Even things like Brexit, which happened many years ago, are still majorly impacting business as well as government activity. And there are some things you cannot control: weather, major sporting events, things like that. As a government, as a business, you cannot control. And in those situations, often investment is drawn back or is not exceeded because they're worried about the political system changing or political government changing. So all these things impact it. But governments should be investing in infrastructure. It's a great way for jobs. It's a great way for logistics. It is a really great way of doing it. Geopolitical is a massive impact, which has been impacting the UK government since the Ukraine war. It has had a major impact. So for policymakers and business owners, it's very difficult to be able to balance everything. As policymakers, good taxation, not excessive taxation, but impactful taxation, as well as infrastructure is important. Businesses, yeah, you might need to withdraw or just be a bit cautious at certain times, but you need to reinvest into the infrastructure of your business to be able to grow it. If these two things get married together and can work, we can have long-term economic growth. So that's what I wanted to say today. Thank you so much for your time. If you've enjoyed that content, please do give it a thumbs up. Do hit the subscribe button. You will not miss an episode with the bell icon. And if I've missed anything, hit me up in the comments. What do you think that I've missed that is either that's impacting on the economy, whether it's political, social, external factors? Let me know if I've missed anything. And thank you very much for your time. Have a great day. On to the next one.
Thank you for listening to Business Growth Talks. This podcast is released every Monday, so don't miss an episode by subscribing to all podcast platforms, including Apple and Spotify. Have a great day.